Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Football for Life show with your host, at least for this evening, Wheelie Hayden Collins. Well, as the title suggests, everyone, we are here with the FA Cup fourth and fifth round draw for the Emirates FA Cup, and yeah, we're just waiting for things to get underway here. Which is a little bit exciting. I'm broadcasting from my a guest bedroom at an undisclosed location, and yeah, I've got a screen up in front of me showing me what's going to happen, and we're just gonna play it very simple. We're just going to react as it happens, really, and we'll see how it goes. Now, this is the first time I've done a live stream using YouTube like this, where my face is straight away the first thing you see. So yeah, let me just make sure that everything.
Make sure that
everything.
Make sure that.
See, talk about technical difficulties. Don't want to end up hearing myself twice over. As much as I sometimes have been accused of liking my own voice, I think that wouldn't be very wise. Right, let's get this up. So, I'm one. Right, so it should start any minute now, basically. Waiting for the the Emirates FA Cup. So for me, I'm a Liverpool fan. That's goes without saying. I don't know what any of the numbers are, but I'm sure that they'll probably run through what all the numbers are, and I'll just read them out. And yeah, we'll see how it is, how it all goes. But I'm excited. You know, I think in previous years, certainly as a Liverpool fan, we've had this really bad, unfortunate scenario where before we've even been able to get off the ground, we've sort of been drawn a really big team, and then we've lost, and then we've never really been able to progress. And it is true to say, much like Gini Wijnaldum was saying the other day, that once we've been in we've won all these trophies. We've won the Champions League, we've won the league, we've won the Club World Cup. We basically won every competition we could think of, and yet we haven't won the FA Cup. And I think if it wasn't for the fact that we have a depleted squad as it is, I think I think our team would go full frontal into it and to try and win it, because it is the one that we've missed out on. But I think the depleted squad does make it harder. But I don't see why we can't go far. We've already shown that we have a really exciting bunch of youth players, and they've certainly come in and done a really good job, both in the league and in these FA Cup games and these other cup games. And you saw Reece Williams come in playing for, what was it? Kidderminster Harriers in non-league, and then he went to play Champions League because we have no centre backs, but he actually did really well. And again, I think there is enough depth for us to go quite far. So it'll be really interesting to see how this all goes. They seem to be a bit delayed. I would love a smaller team. I don't want, as much as I love, the feeling of beating another Premier League team, and we do it a lot. I feel like whilst there's that, you could get beating a small team, you could be accused of being a flat track bully. I think that it would be different, because I think for the smaller team, they would get to come to us, and so they would certainly make some money and get some prestige and have a bit of a platform by playing a team like us. But I think yeah, I certainly think it would boost the reputation of the smaller club, because they have that. It would boost the underdog mentality that they might have going into it, and then it would give us a tougher game. But I also think it would then give them more of a chance for my rotational players to actually come in and not feel the heat as much, and try their best, and we could play some of the kids and play some of the academy. I think there's this other element to it where, like in previous years, we've just simply been like we've almost immediately just been knocked out because we haven't been given, because it's like immediately run into a Prem team. I'd love to see, like, what was it? Blackpool just won against West Brom. I'd like to see us play them. Don't want to come up against City because we've got a depleted squad as it is. I want us to go far in this competition, but not damage the squad depth for the Prem. And I think a game against like a City or another Prem team would do that. Well, I'm trying to think about the other teams. Let me just get up the teams that we'll be contending with. Bear with me 1 second. This is so bizarre. I'm trying to work out. I don't understand. This is so bizarre. I've typed in FA Cup draw. There we go. So Fulham, I'm a little bit late to this, obviously. Fulham at home to Burnley. Okay, that'll be a fairly even game, won't it? 14 is the next number out. Sheffield United versus. Okay, so Chorley versus Wolves. I've missed a number of these already. Then. Plymouth Argyle, right? Well, maybe Sheffield United will be able to pick up their first points or first win of the season, because they have been absolutely a really poor turn of form. Chelsea versus 26 Luton Town. Oh, come on. 6 Stockport versus West Ham. What, are they yet to play, or did it go to a replay? Doncaster Rovers. Well, I'd be very surprised if Stockport win that, but I could also see that West Ham could bottle it, like Brentford. Number 17 they're up against. Leicester City. So Leicester City are away at Brentford. So I'm joined by Aaron, my co-host, in the chat. Aaron, Everton versus Sheffield Wednesday. Oh, okay, that's comfortable for Everton. Or should be anyway. I'm slightly frustrated, Aaron. My link on the stream didn't start when everyone else did. Right, so ties to be played across the weekend of the 22nd to the 25th of Jan. Cheltenham versus City. Oh my God, really? Bournemouth, Crawley, Swansea, Nottingham Forest, Man United, Liverpool, Southampton or Shrewsbury against Arsenal. Well, I'd be very surprised if Southampton don't win that. So Southampton at home and Arsenal away. Barnsley and Norwich. Well, Norwich theoretically should win if they're putting all their effort into the FA Cup. Chorley and Wolves is interesting. Obviously, Chorley beat Derby. And then Wolves have had a weird season. That they've not really hit the rope, hit the straps, with their true attacking talent. 4th round draw. Blackpool away at Brighton. Wickham and Tottenham. Tottenham the away team. Fulham at home to Burnley. Sheffield United at home to Plymouth. Chelsea at home to Luton. Stockport or West Ham at home to Doncaster Rovers. Brentford against Leicester at home to Brentford. 2 attacking teams. Could be very open. I reckon Leicester will edge that. I think Leicester could go really far this time. And Everton, Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah, I think that's fairly easy going. I'm hoping that they're not just keeping this up here, and that they should show how round 5 will also go. So I'm not entirely sure, Aaron. Maybe you could tell me in the chat. How are they going to do? How are they actually going to do the round 5 draw? Let's just see how it is. Right. So we're playing. Oh man, that's. I mean, there's 2 things to the draw that we got. So we got Man United. Obviously they're big rivals. I wanted to avoid Manchester, if I'm honest. Not because I don't think we can beat them, but I just think there's more of a chance of, like, with such a condensed season, I think part of the problem is that playing these really high-end games against Premier League teams, again, are going to keep draining us. There's something to be said for not being able to play. We're struggling with Prem games as it is, but Prem quality cup games as well also makes things really difficult. So that's a bit frustrating. So is that out at Old Trafford? I mean, normally that atmosphere would be nuts because, it'd be nuts at either ground, but it's going to be weird because there's no fans there. And certainly by the dates that these are played, fans won't be back. So it's just going to be like a weird game against Man United, but it's going to, the players will be up for it, we'll be up for it, but we won't be able to conjoin the 2 on either side. We'll be disjointed trying to feel the special nature of these games, and yet, we're just gonna we're not gonna have any conduit in which to enjoy them. It's gonna feel like there's no atmosphere, which is bizarre. So I guess the upside is, like, yes, there's a massive amount of history with us and them, and so there's gonna be a real passion there from the players. The downside is that there's no fans. The downside that we're away from home. ASJ Paradise in the comments says Minamino, Shaqiri, and Origi up front. Lol. I wouldn't put a lol after that. I'd say that. I'd say that. Yeah, that could be an attacking front line. But I wouldn't laugh at that. I think I still think they're immensely talented players. I think they could do a job. Origi, not so much, I will admit. Right. Nah, we'll beat them. I reckon we'll beat Man United. Like even with like a reduced squad and I suppose they're gonna do so they'll do the winners of this play the winners of this game, right? Yeah, I still think we'll beat Man United even with a diminished squad. I think our rotation players are better than Man United's first team. I just it may come back to haunt me but I think we just have an all-round better first team, second team, and even third team. 11, right. So that's the game of Fulham and Burnley. So either Fulham or Burnley will play the game against Bournemouth or Crawley, the winner of that game. Manchester United or Liverpool will be at home to Stockport, West Ham, or Doncaster Rovers. That is nice. I actually like that. I think that's incredibly winnable, if I'm going to be honest. Sheffield United versus Plymouth. Aaron, I think Millwall, Bristol City. Oh, okay. I don't mind that actually. If we beat Man United, however way we do it, having maybe Doncaster or Stockport or West Ham, like the worst out of them is West Ham. But if we got one of the other teams, if there was an upset, then we get a really easy fifth round because Doncaster or Stockport we're definitely able to beat them. That's definitely winnable. Barnsley or Norwich versus Chelsea, Luton, or Luton. Winner of Everton and Sheffield Wednesday. Will either play Wycombe Wanderers or Tottenham. Aaron, I think, regardless of, if we beat Man, that's not as easy as for City as you'd think. I was gonna say I think we. Aaron, I think Nottingham Forest or Swansea could do damage against City. Not gonna lie, I think the chances of City winning are probably the much higher numbers, 90%. But I still think there's steady on Arsenal, just Arjun. The it may be maybe West Ham, but West Ham is still a beatable team, beatable Prem team. And even if and if there is an upset, I'm not saying there will, but if there is, then we come up against two possible really easy teams. I think the Everton and Sheffield Wednesday versus Wycombe and Tottenham is interesting because I reckon Tottenham will win that, and I reckon Everton will win that game. But I don't know. Everton and Tottenham would be an interesting game. Yeah, HHGG says Diallo to Man United, done. United beat likes of Arsenal and Liverpool for his signature. Yes, but don't forget he's only played like 2 or 3 games in Serie A for Atalanta before he came to Man United. He's only just had that the visa applied and confirmed. You know, he's gonna have to come into the country. He's gonna have to isolate. He's not gonna know the team. He's not gonna have been able to train with them. He's not gonna know the system. So I don't think he'll start playing as early as some Man United fans think he will. Yeah, no, I think I agree. HHGG says Minamino, best talent in Europe at the moment. I wouldn't say the best, but I say he's a very talented player, and I think he is a huge talent in our squad. And I think I certainly think he can do some damage. I think he would be able to find space in and amongst the defensive line and the midfield line of Man United. And I think he could do damage. He's very sharp on the ball, very good at reading where space is. The questions are over like his consistency with his physical strength, and I think part of that has been hindered by the fact that he hasn't necessarily been around the full setup as much because COVID restrictions and things like that. So certainly makes life harder. But yeah, I would certainly agree. I think that he has a promising future with Liverpool. I'm intrigued. So, I mean, what are other people's thoughts? I mean, yeah, we've got that ongoing situation where it seems like City do get the easiest draw out of every single, out of everything, always. And yeah, they'll probably win both those games. But yeah, I mean, we can dare to dream and hope for an upset. We've seen stranger things happen in the past. But yeah. Yeah, certainly we've seen stranger things happen in the past. Yeah. Oh, so Aaron wants to join the call. He phoned me, but didn't say, "Hey, it's me." So here we go. Hey, Aaron, you're live on YouTube.
I know. I tried ringing. I could see you not picking the call.
Yeah, no, it was a number that I just didn't recognize. So give me your live thoughts, your reaction.
You know what? Let me take this earphone off. It don't echo in my ear.
Yeah, I did that to myself earlier. I set up another stream by mistake, and I heard myself 2 or 3 times over.
Cool. I'm off that. Anyway, I'll look back at this. They've got the max on you already. Chatting. Smoking, they usually do.
Yeah, so Aaron, obviously we now know what the draw is. What do you think? Give me your thoughts. When you look at those list of draws, that list of you know, those fixtures for both rounds, what immediately comes to mind?
Before the draw was made on the chat, I was saying to Gav, imagine this happens, and look what happened. It came up for the fourth. I feel it's more for fifth round draw kind of thing.
Right.
I haven't thought that's a bit too early, but hey, it's happened, so let's just deal with them. I feel like West Ham should have come earlier than them. That's the kind of draw I'd expect in the fourth round. So I feel if it was vice versa, I'd be like cool with it, but it is what it is. We've got them now, like twice in 1 week? I think it's 2 consecutive weekends. Could end up playing them in the space of maybe even 5 days. If they put it down as a Friday night kickoff, you never know with these guys.
Yeah.
It could happen.
Yeah, it could. It could. There could be a really insane turnaround. I mean, yeah, that's frustrating. So for the viewers, obviously, I just wanted to say that, like, I came slightly late. The stream that we've been having internet problems at my parents' and at my undisclosed location, and my so everything was delayed by about 3 minutes, and I certainly had missed out most of the results for the fourth round. But what do you think about the fifth round draw? You know, if we beat Man United, we have the prospects of playing a Doncaster or a Stockport.
No, bro, it's not gonna be. Let's not get our hopes higher. It's not gonna happen. Those 2 teams are not gonna qualify, I don't think, unless there's another upset, which is unlikely. I think Hammer's got enough in their army to get rid of those 2 teams.
I mean,
like they have enough. Arsenal, no pun intended.
No, I mean, look.
I reckon it would be West Ham.
Yeah, no, I mean, look. When I got that, I was thinking, right, the immediate reaction is, okay, well, if we beat Man United, and I primarily, and I've said it earlier in the stream, that we have a very good first team, we have a very good second team, even, and you know, we have got enough youth players to be able to rotate and do a job. But I think, if you know, it is positive that even the worst team, like the worst team we could get for the fifth round, is a very winnable game against West Ham if we get past United, you know? Like, even like if there's an upset, then we get an even easier team. But West Ham, we have a good record against anyway. You know, we often score 2 or 3 goals against them, and it's usually quite comfortable for us. I think that's a really encouraging reward for trying to get past Man United, if that makes sense.
It's a home game, right?
Yes, it would be a home game.
Okay. So that, I mean, even if it's most likely going to be in, is that going to be much, by the way, like last year or mid-Feb this year?
Pardon?
I didn't check the dates. When will that be played? Will it be played mid-February or March, like last year?
I'm not sure. I thought it said on the website.
Yeah, just check.
I can't, because I've got the stream in front of me. Can you?
Okay, hang on. I'll have a look online. There is 1 sec.
Let me see if I can get it open in a new tab.
Checking now. Okay. I'm gonna be back in literally a few minutes, so I'll leave you for a little bit. I just need to.
Yeah. So
I'm on the work line actually as well. Maybe I'll call you from my other line. I just need to sign off.
I mean, let's have a look at what they've said for the.
I'm coming back on, yeah, like in a few minutes.
Oh my gosh! Breaking news, Aaron. Have you seen this?
I said.
Huh?
Go on. Do the breaking news first.
It looks like Sol Bamba from Cardiff City is being treated for cancer.
Whoa.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know, from the Football for Life show fans and us as hosts, we certainly send our best wishes to him. I mean, you know, the guy's only 35.
That's it. a shock.
That's insane. But obviously he's being positive about it, and yeah.
We got someone saying Chelsea's going to win the FA Cup this season. That was my initial prediction, to be honest, before the cup even started. So,
Yeah.
Change maybe if we beat United, which I think we might do, depending on our league run as well. How seriously we take the cup, but I did actually have them
Yeah.
favorite before.
So you have them favorite for going really far then.
I reckon they win it.
Really?
Hopefully I'm wrong.
I hope so. I mean, we don't want Chelsea to win it. But yeah, I hope everyone's hearing your voice clearly.
Are you seeing Hassan's comment? Yago's
Chelsea.
comment, Mr. Sheikh Mansour. Look what he's writing. Vasquez and Salah.
Oh my gosh! Right, I was giving so for those viewers in the chat, HH says Salah and Vasquez swap deal in the summer. I'm sorry, I gave you credit earlier because you made an interesting point about Minamino, but mate, come on, man! Like, we're not swapping one of the best attacking players we've had for the last 10 or 15 years for a guy who's like, what? How old is the guy? He's like, what, 29 or 30 at this point? Maybe 31. We looked at him 2 seasons ago, briefly, before Salah came in. And he's on too high a wages. He's on like 175k a week, I think. And that's silly, man. Come on. Please send me a tweet where it says Fabrizio Romano, as this guy's saying, said it. Maybe he said it in some sort of fever dream moment, but I don't see us doing a weird swap deal like that. I think, first of all, if Salah does leave, I don't think it's in a swap deal, unless it's a swap. Yeah, I mean, I think we would want money for him. And I think that would be the only option, unless the swap deal is for like an Mbappe or for Haaland or for a really high class player. Like, we wouldn't do a swap deal full stop. And yeah.
Keep it going. I'm gonna come back on, yeah?
Yeah, I know. I'm still here.
About that Chelsea fan answering as well about Kai. Some insane comment, but I'll be
that guy's so Kai Havertz is the typical player, right? Now just talking to the rest of everyone. Where, he looked amazing in Germany because of the quality of the German league. And clearly the guy does have talent. But right now he's really struggling to adjust. And I don't know where the massive hype is and the love from Chelsea fans is, other than a reputation that precedes him. Why would... Now you've got to be joking. I'm not going to I mean, if I'm honest, Marine players would be good at Arsenal, because Arsenal are shit, and they're nowhere near the quality that they should be, and they are in a relegation battle, or they could be. So yeah, maybe they should start looking at lower league players and players from non-league divisions like Marine, because ultimately that's where I'd love Arsenal to end up. All joking aside, though, no, we wouldn't be going for that. No, I mean, I'll have to check the Fabrizio podcast thing that you've mentioned, but not at this point. I mean, maybe if Vasquez is 5 times the player that he is now, and was at Real Madrid, and we were like, oh my gosh, really excited. But Vasquez you could get for a deal for maybe like 25 mil and have him as rotation. Why would you swap a 200 million plus player for a guy who's in his early 30s, who's totally unproven in the Premier League? Like, that would be silly. And I don't think Salah wants to get away as much as everyone else makes him out to want to leave. Yeah. I mean, I think, Liverpool are looking for centre-backs, I think. But they'll look for France. They'll look from other European countries. I think there's an interesting conversation to be had about Mourinho, and what he'll do with players. I mean, there's always these links linking Dele Alli, isn't there, to Paris Saint-Germain. Now that Pochettino's come in, and Pochettino is obviously a huge admirer of both Son and Kane. I could see one of them going off to PSG, if I'm honest. If something like Mbappe leaves, I could see Kane going. Hey, you're back.
Yeah, bro, back wheels. That's my business.
So, Aaron,
I'll be on for like 10-15, yeah, and then I'm gonna head for dinner.
Right. So.
Cool, nice one.
Okay, so I'm guessing you still have the chat up in front of you. Can you react to some of the comments that people are saying? Because I'm losing my voice here for a second.
You do realize these are salty man, so...
No, I know, but like at least respond.
It's just comedy. Honestly.
No, I know, it's pure comedy. I mean...
Gold, isn't it?
But hang on. Check killers. But
I think Idris. Just ask him, is it Idris? We might even bring him on the call.
Well, let's not give away people's let's not give away actual people's names on a live stream.
That's a good point.
See, the comment says, but Chelsea players and fans need to give Kai Havertz a chance. Now, that's true, because as you've said, he's only 21, but when Havertz came in, all the Chelsea fans I know were saying, oh, he's this incredible player and he'll immediately turn everything around for us and he'll help us push for the league. Right now, all the players you've brought in have been very inconsistent, and Havertz has been the poorest of them all. I don't think you can backtrack that easily and say, oh, no, we must give him time. I think time will be given to him, but I think part of the responsibility will fall on to Frank Lampard. I mean, what do you think, Aaron?
I reckon he should definitely be given a chance. Why not?
Aaron, come closer to the phone.
Did you hear what I said?
No, I didn't.
He should be given a go.
How come?
It's only his first season in charge. I mean, not in charge, what am I saying? His first season on the pitch.
Yeah.
So he still has time to prove his worth, even though it's a rip-off.
I mean, yeah, wasn't it like 80? Didn't they pay 80 million for him?
I'm trying to think. There was a show that the lady, one of the directors, managed to bring it down. I think that's Chua.
Right.
Havertz, I think, was higher than that. 80, yeah.
80.
No, maybe even 90, coming up to that one.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with HHGG. I mean, the thing is, Lampard did well at Derby because he knew exactly what players to bring in, and he knew from his connections at Chelsea, and he didn't have a huge expectation set of expectations on him to go anywhere, and then he did, and he did better than everyone thought with what he was given. But now he's been given all of this money. I think his lack of experience shows here because, Klopp has shown that we have had a big budget in previous years, but he's spent a very little of it to buy the right players to make us perfect and to fine tune us. But Lampard's just gone in and spunked all this money everywhere, and it shows that yes, he clearly knows what a good player is, but he doesn't know how to bring it together into a coherent system that will allow him to really push on and push for the title.
I've been reading a few complaints from Chelsea fans saying that apparently he keeps keeping Werner on the left.
Right.
They want to play more central or on the right, worst case, but I feel like what they're trying to say is he's not utilised fully on the left.
Right.
So kind of like more or less playing him out of position.
Yeah.
So I don't watch them too often, unless they're obviously playing against a big enough team or a rival. I watched the City game, and to be honest, I don't think he's that effective from what I saw anyway. And it didn't seem to me like he actually plays central. I think we had the same issue with Jurgen and Origi in it, because a lot of the time he would put him wide and not in his preferred central position.
I think there is a conversation about players being played out of position. I think in the case of Origi, though, like I think part of the problem is that he's clearly a player with a lot of speed, and a little bit of skill. Not an outrageous amount of skill, but he can do a few tricks. And I think, some of his best performances have come when he's out on the left.
92 mil.
Yeah.
Right.
I think there's a confusion as to like what Origi's skills are and the position that he's played in. Like, because I think he can play out on the left and centrally. It's just I think more of his game is based like on the left. I guess it makes sense because he's got a lot of speed to give him more room to run into.
Origi or Werner?
Oh, I meant Origi. Because he doesn't really do a very good job as a target man. The Werner thing, yeah, I would agree with you. I think he's being played out. Yeah. Oh, okay.
From what I've seen, I can see some logic there because he ain't scoring as much as we all thought he would.
Yeah.
So Lampard should play for us, and then we might win a couple, probably more than a couple, depending on his fitness levels.
Yeah.
He still got it. I like Frank in it. But yeah,
I think he's dangerous. I think he's dangerously close from the sack, if I'm honest. Like for the money he's spent, the results he's getting, the consistency. That there's talk of player alienation. The fact that there's there's public media into headlines talking about how Tuchel is being eyed up for the job. I mean, that says something already, that there's enough discontent that he might lose his job very soon. I mean, if it was just paper speculation, then it would be easily knocked away. But that same line keeps coming back. And it would make sense because Roman has invested a lot of money, and it's not returning to him at the moment.
To be fair, they've got a decent cup run. Quarterfinals place looks secure for them.
But you know that like Roman's goal is not to win the FA Cup or the League Cup. it's to win the Champions League and qualify for the Champions League and win the league and the Prem. And for 200 million, I don't think they are showing anywhere near the sort of progress that he would want.
We've got another chat come up. Do you want to read that one out?
Right, yeah. Clack Killers says, my opinion is that Divock Origi should go to maybe Brentford or something because they just lost Ollie Watkins and Divock would play more. That's very true, actually. I think it's become apparent whilst Divock has become a bit of a cult figure at Liverpool, and has played well in some games, both in cup games and Prem games. He's clearly not at a Prem level.
Come on, that's a bit harsh, Bills.
Well,
I wouldn't say that.
Fine. Maybe, okay, fine. I mean, if I'm honest, if I'm perfectly honest, I would see him do quite well at a Wolves or some or instead of buying Ryan Brewster, Sheffield United could have gone for him.
That's true actually.
Because he sort of fits their style a bit more.
The style of football's a bit boring though. Someone of his caliber, I don't know.
Yeah, but he would certainly be a replacement for McGoldrick. Like,
I think like somewhere like Brighton would have been alright. Southampton would be okay. Alongside some really.
No, I think they have because I think he wouldn't get games alongside Gineppo.
No, Ings and him up front.
No, I know, but they don't play. They don't particularly play with two up top, do they?
But you see, Ralph in it, he's a bit like Jurgen. He likes to change it around them at times. So if it's a formula that works,
I mean,
I'm sure he'd stick to it.
they're all similar teams that he could play for. I mean, I certainly think Divock at this point should move on. Like I said, and like some people have said in the chat, and we've said it, me and you, over the years, Divock is a really good player when he's in the zone, but he's so often not, because he doesn't play often, and then when he does, it takes him a while to get into the games, and even when he's starting, the system doesn't often suit him. So I've said for a while that I think he would work well at another club, and I think we could cash in on him, and get a Michael Edwards sort of outrageous price for him, and just allow him to have a second chance at a career. Yeah,
that's a good point.
I certainly think if he dropped down to a Brentford level, I think he could actually help them come up.
Brentford ain't coming up.
No, I'm not saying that they. I'm saying that if he went down there, theoretically he has a skill set that would do very well in the Championship, and so even if he did go down to the Championship, he could come back with another team within a season or two.
I mean, it depends on his goals and.
True. I mean, I'm talking hypothetically, but.
Would he really want to be playing at that level? That's the other thing.
But I think at that level he would be guaranteed nearly every game.
No, if you live in a club like Porto alongside Greats, might be another option if he's looking to go abroad. And he has been in a few other countries, including Germany, I think Belgium as well, which is where he came from initially. Is that where he signed him from?
Yeah.
I own the club, but it will come back to me. I know at Wolfsburg, though, he was quite poor. I think, hang on, it was Lille. So it wasn't a Belgian club. Because when we signed him when he was 18, after that good run they had at the World Cup, I think it was Lille, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, Lille makes sense.
Yeah, it's a long time back anyway. So, Mr. Clark.
Yeah, we brought him from Lille in 2014.
He's good, but he doesn't think that he should be with us only because we're a good team and good players. Like, we rate him though, obviously.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing.
We to not be a bit there, basically.
Yeah, I mean I was saying that a few minutes ago that ultimately Divock has done a lot for us. He won us the Champions League final. He gave us so many glorious memories against Everton. So I don't think he certainly embarrassed T-Rex a number of times, didn't he? and and that's all we could really ask for. But yeah, his consistency in the league is just not there, and the fact that the fans will always love him. I think he's one of those guys that in a few years we'll be like, oh, do you remember Origi? And he played well for us, didn't he? And held in a sort of like a club legend.
Even when he's still with us, so we're already cherishing what we got.
Exactly, and the conversations we have around Divock are not, oh, let's get him in the bin. He's absolutely overrated. He's a nightmare player. They're all about like trying to discuss where he could go to further his own career and say, given the positivity that he's injected into our club through those moments, who could we sell him to that allows him to continue and return that positivity to him on a human level? I think.
If we just imagine him scoring against Manil once again, another clutch goal, how we would love that.
Oh, and the goals that he scored against Dortmund.
Yeah, quite a few of them he's done.
That comeback against Dortmund never happens if it's not for him.
Few things, actually, quite a few. So let's not sleep on him just yet.
Exactly.
He's gonna do something in the fourth round against the Manx, innit?
I mean,
if he starts, at least come on as a sub.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I think he would definitely get these cup games, just with the rotation that we need.
Yeah.
I think any conversation about him leaving. I think once we hit the summer and there is more clarity about vaccines and being able to travel abroad and understanding the stipulations of what Brexit means for football and transfers and selling players abroad, possibly.
Just a quick one.
I think that will make it. I think that will be when the conversations about his future start again, because I don't think he will be sold in January, because I don't think there's as many clubs that could go for him now as there could be in the summer.
Is the vaccine going to work?
Well, yeah. I mean,
I hope so. But
it has 95% efficacy.
At a time, we take it. We got one chat here. I'll let you deal with that one, because I've got a bounce. But if you're still on in a little while, I don't know how long, I'll maybe return, but we'll see. I'm not sure.
Aaron, could you get that one?
Well, you want me to read it out to you before?
And respond to it.
It's Tim from Clack.
Yeah.
Saying he doesn't know why we bought Kaki, because we've got a lot of players, which is true, but mainly it's in the midfield where we're packed. And they only bought him because he scored twice against us. I don't think that's necessarily true. He's a bit of a versatile player. And as we know, Jurgen Uncle loves those kind of players, so he definitely thought he could slot him in quite a few positions where he can be placed either centrally or as a support striker. I think his role is more suited towards a support striker.
Yeah.
At the minute, because we're still trying to figure out where he actually plays.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing,
Yeah, it's still a mystery.
I mean,
kind of,
just to respond to him on a personal note, I think Takumi Minamino represents a number of really positive signs. First of all, we got him really cheap. So even if it doesn't work out in the next 4 years or next 5 years, which is how long his contract is, we could then sell him on and make quite a considerable profit. I think the other thing.
Don't think about that just yet.
No. I'm just addressing all of the levels, Aaron. So so that's the worst case scenario. Best case scenario, and this is where I think, once the world in some way and the league in some way returns to some level of normality, you will see him shine a bit more, because you said it right there. He's an incredibly versatile player. He can play in the 10. He can play as an 8, quite possibly. Given his work rate, he could play on the left and the right, and he could.
Central, I wouldn't think.
Well, I think for Salzburg, he played a number 10 role, or a deeper central role, but in a front line, and so I think there's a lot of conversations about, like, okay, so who would he replace in the front line, and I think it's not necessarily a straight swap between him and Firmino, but I think they play similar roles where they don't necessarily do everything on their own, but they facilitate those around them to have more chances on goal. So, those short passes to a Mane or a Salah are his best qualities, and I think you've been able to see that when Taki has played in games where he's with the front three. So
I'd say he's a bit similar to Coutinho in the form, like before anyone comes at this, in the form of unlocking defenses. I'm not comparing the levels.
No, I know.
I'm not saying they're similar players, but because we saw that against Palace, to go to Sellers Park and pack 7 away, it's not just a feat that's done week in, week out. So
I mean, that
kind of shows glimpses of it.
Exactly. I think that's the thing. Like, so
I think that's what we saw before we signed him.
Exactly. I think that's the best thing about him. And by the way, the West Ham and Stockport game has just kicked off, but they and we might do another stream to follow that if people would be excited for a watch along. But
For West Ham. Oh yeah, potential opponent.
But the thing with Minamino is he came into the club, and when he was playing games, it was always against, like, the with our second team. They were never with. He wasn't playing with the first team, and I think in that Crystal Palace game, you saw that his true ability come to light when he was able to play with the first 11. If that makes sense. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that it's a fairly obvious thing to say. Like, good players play well when they're with even better players. But yeah.
I do that's the case with him.
Huh?
It's just a question of more game time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But let's see how it comes along. I reckon he's going to start. He should start against the Manx whenever we play. 2 weeks now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Depending on when they place the fixture. Good thing, no replay. So it will be decided on the day. I'm going to leave you to do the watch along if you're doing it still. But I will be bouncing off, Will.
Okay, well, I think I'll call it a day there as well, everyone. Thank you all.
Okay. First.
Yeah, take care, mate. Well, I wanted to thank everyone for coming to today's stream. It was only supposed to be a quick one for the draw, but we've ended up having a fruitful conversation about football more generally, and about Liverpool, and just responding to some of your comments. which has all been incredibly welcomed. Even if I have tried to banter back, it's always nice to have, a civil discussion about football. I'd say. Well, on that note, I'm gonna go and watch the West Ham United and Stockport game because however way this turns out, this will affect possibly Liverpool's 5th round future. If we were to get there. So I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. And I'll see everyone soon. Take care. Thanks for joining me. Bye.